Fairview Hills was the kind of neighborhood people sought when they were tired of city chaos: manicured lawns, white fences, and porch swings that creaked in rhythm with a lazy Saturday breeze. That morning, the air was thick with barbecue smoke and the hum of sprinklers, a scene so peaceful it bordered on surreal. In one of the modest brick homes on Willowbend Drive, Melissa Carter was pouring herself a second cup of hazelnut coffee. She ached from a week of chores, but the smell of brewing beans and pancakes made it feel worthwhile. Outside, her 10-year-old son, Elijah, was parked in his wheelchair, hunched over a sketchbook on the driveway. His tongue poked out slightly in concentration. Elijah had cerebral palsy. His legs didn't work like other kids, but his imagination soared past any physical limitation. He was sketching his latest superhero, one with a chrome exosuit and a flaming sword. He called him Sky Sentinel. Melissa stepped outside and placed a juice box on the table beside him. Still working on Sky Sentinel? Yeah, Elijah nodded without looking up. But I think he needs rocket arms too. She ruffled his curls. 10 more minutes until breakfast, champ. Inside, Travis Monroe stood by the sink sipping coffee. Melissa's old friend and former MMA coach. Towering, broad-shouldered, with scarred knuckles and a square jaw, Travis had trained a generation of fighters before a shoulder injury sidelined him. Since Melissa's husband passed the year before, Travis had made a point of checking in. His quiet presence brought a stability Melissa hadn't realized she'd been missing. They talked about old-time sparring tournaments, late-night training, and the strange calm that came just before a fight. But then, outside, something shifted. A black SUV rolled silently onto the cul-de-sac. The windows were so tinted they reflected the morning sun like obsidian. The vehicle stopped directly in front of their driveway. Melissa saw it first through the window. Her stomach twisted. 2 men stepped out, both in black tactical pants and tight polo shirts with HOA enforcement printed in block letters across the chest. No names. No badges. No warmth. One was tall and lean with a clipboard and mirrored shades. The other, heavier and red-faced, had a radio clip to his belt that wasn't even turned on. Travis, Melissa said, her voice low. Come look. He stepped beside her, posture stiffening. You expecting someone? She shook her head. Never seen them before. Outside, the tall man approached Elijah and stared at the wheelchair. Travis muttered, What the hell? Melissa was already opening the front door. Let me go, Travis said, but she was already on the steps. Excuse me, she called. Can I help you? The man didn't answer. He stared at Elijah. This child is obstructing the community access pathway, he said like he was reading from a manual. Melissa frowned. He's in our driveway. We've had complaints. Repeated violations. You've been warned. That's not true, she snapped. The heavier man stepped closer. We are the HOA, and this layout is not ADA compliant. If it happens again, we'll issue fines. But before he could finish, the tall one kicked Elijah's wheelchair. Not hard enough to topple it, but hard enough to jolt the boy. The chair rattled. Elijah gasped. His sketchbook fell, pages fluttering like wounded birds. Melissa's breath caught. What is wrong with you? She ran to her son. The man didn't respond. But someone else had moved. Travis. He now stood at the top of the porch steps, calm and focused. You got a problem? The bald man sneered. Travis didn't look at him. He looked at Elijah, his wide eyes, trembling fingers. Then back at the man. Yeah, he said softly. I do. Mind your business, old man. Travis stepped off the last stair. Oh, I am the business. Something shifted in the air like static before lightning. Neighbors peeked through blinds. Some emerged onto porches. He kicked a disabled kid, Travis said, voice low. HOA enforcement. The man grunted. Back off. The second man puffed his chest. Or what? You gonna mow us down with your gardening tools? Travis didn't blink. You really want to find out? The bald man scoffed and reached to push him. He never made contact. Travis struck. One punch. A straight right to the jaw. The man dropped like a bag of bricks. Sunglasses flew into the grass. Clipboard clattered beside his limp hand. Gasps. A coffee mug shattered across the street. The second man lunged. Travis sidestepped, hooked his arm, twisted it backward. The man howled. A sweeping kick dropped him hard. Concrete met his back with a dull thud. Melissa held Elijah close. He didn't cry. He watched. Travis stood over the groaning man. "You're lucky I'm retired." The guy wheezed, "You assaulted an officer." "No," Travis said. "I stopped a criminal impersonating one." Neighbors poured out now. Phones raised. Murmurs turned to cheers. Mr. Hathaway, a retired Navy vet, stood at his gate. "Got the whole thing on video." "They're toast." A woman across the street shouted. "Police are 5 minutes out." Elijah picked up his sketchbook, flipping to the drawing of Sky Sentinel. "He kinda looks like you," he whispered. Travis smiled. Sirens approached. Melissa exhaled, her grip on Elijah loosening. She wasn't afraid anymore. Not with Travis beside them. The first cruiser screeched into view. 2 officers exited cautiously. They saw the black SUV, the uniforms, the unconscious man. "What happened here?" Melissa stepped forward. "They impersonated HOA officers. One kicked my son's wheelchair." Travis defended him. The groaning man shouted, "He broke my arm." The officer ignored him. "You Travis Monroe?" "The MMA guy?" "Was," Travis said. The paramedics came. One man went in a stretcher, the other in cuffs. Their SUV was impounded. Their fake IDs collected. The footage had already hit social media. By the next morning, the video had millions of views. Headlines exploded. Fake HOA enforcers attacked disabled child. Ex-MMA champ drops them. Travis tried to ignore it. Melissa didn't. Liam, still shaken, had a spark in his eyes. He was sketching again. A new hero. This one had a steel jaw and fists that glowed with justice. Sky Sentinel had a new name. Justice Jaw. Weeks passed. Charges filed. State investigations launched. HOA oversight procedures rewritten. And on the community center wall, a mural appeared. A boy in a wheelchair. A man standing behind him, fist mid-swing. Underneath, the words, "Real power protects. It doesn't pray." And Elijah, he visited it every week. Because that was the day he met a real hero. And watched justice fly. Fairview Hills was the kind of neighborhood people sought when they were tired of city chaos, manicured lawns, white fences, and porch swings that creaked in rhythm with a lazy Saturday breeze. That morning, the air was thick with barbecue smoke and the hum of sprinklers. A scene so peaceful it bordered on surreal. In one of the modest brick homes on Willowbend Drive, Melissa Carter was pouring herself a second cup of hazelnut coffee. She ached from a week of chores, but the smell of brewing beans and pancakes made it feel worthwhile. Outside, her 10-year-old son, Elijah, was parked in his wheelchair, hunched over a sketchbook on the driveway. His tongue poked out slightly in concentration. Elijah had cerebral palsy. His legs didn't work like other kids, but his imagination soared past any physical limitation. He was sketching his latest superhero, one with a chrome exosuit and a flaming sword. He called him Sky Sentinel. Melissa stepped outside and placed